Hey YouTubers, we're here today about the Wabash waste, and you know, it's a filtration system so the city collects your waste. And you can see over here, see if I can zoom in, you can see the city letting the liquid out into the river, which is liquid waste. They take the particles out, like, you know, the bigger stuff, and they dump it right into the river, which is where they say they draw our water from. Is that a little scary? Probably explains why in this system you have to add, well, in their eyes, you have to put chlorine and fluoride in there, which is poisonous crap, and that's to clean the water up. Well, yeah, if you're going to draw from a sewer pot or from a sewer pond, that's what you have to do, or you're going to be eating a lot of bad bacteria. Now, that's one outlet. I'm thinking there's two or three of them. I know there's two. Let's look on the other side of the road. And the plant's right over there. So that explains why it's there. Let's go across the road here real quick. See if I can not get in trouble. See? That's not water. Look at it. That's sewer. Right back in. Okay. We get across this road before they kill me. Okay. See ya. Okay, so outlet of the wastewater, and there's the plant right here. This is where they're releasing it from, right there. Okay? And I want you to understand this, because you wonder why your city water tastes like crap. They have no choice. In the way they do it, they talk about sludge and bacteria and all that growing in there. Well, if you're going to draw from a river that's doing nothing but dumping sewer into it, yeah, I guess that's one option. Or not even drink it. I don't drink that water. I know better than that. There's parasites in it, all kinds of stuff. And here's the plant right here. Every city does it. Every city that has fluorinated water. If you got a well, you know, you're drawing from a well, your own water source. But it's probably because American Water controls this. I'm just wondering if Scott Long, which is our mayor, because I know I've talked to him about this before. 3 years ago, I really reamed him about allowing this because he's the mayor, and he said it's fine. Been doing it for years. Well, they have. And ever since they've been doing it for years, people have been dying at early ages. You know, because when you drink diluted poison, you're going to die slowly. And if you don't believe that, you're an idiot. Yep. But yeah, I brought this up to Scott Long, and he's done nothing about it. Since then, he's been told by several people about how bad it is. Still ain't doing nothing about it. So I'm just going to show you so you You can decide. Because I'll tell you what, I think it's disgusting that we have to pay for this sewer water. And all you can do is wash. If you're washing your clothes and bathing in it, it's still dangerous. What's the biggest organ on your body? Your skin. So, yeah. I hear people tell me all the time, well, you know, the earth is overpopulated. We need to depopulate. Man, they are brainwashed people. Do not listen to those people. Remember what the Bible says. Back then, they were living 600 to 800 years old. Did everybody forget about that? Looks like it. All right, this is a little part one here. YouTubers. So let's go over the video from the waste plant that I talked about. Now, you guys pay money to this waste plant. We all do. To separate the solids and then to just dump it right back into the Wabash River. Now, this is just Wabash City. How many cities do we have upline in the Wabash River? And you guys are canoeing in this water, you're kayaking in this water, you're eating fish out of this water. It's the worst it's ever been. I mean, if you just sit there and think about it, you know, because all the waste comes from all the city houses, goes in there, and they have multiple places where they're filtering it. But if you actually look in the Wabash River over by there, they're dumping it right back in. I've sit there and watched them. When you watch it dump back in, it's all brown and it's disgusting. I'm really shocked that a lot of people haven't noticed this and question about what they've done. And this has been doing. They've been doing this since 1936 and telling everybody, "Oh, it's the healthiest thing to do." Now remember, you got chlorine and fluoride that they're adding to this water. And that's another thing. I wanted to see where they were adding this. I don't even know where it's at. I went over by the water tank, and I know Scott Long told me, the mayor here of Wabash, told me that they draw from two locations. One's a lake down in a lake somewhere. I don't know where this lake is. I don't know. And then one of them's the Wabash River. He didn't really want to tell me that. He was kind of beating around the bush. Then I asked him, "Well, do you draw out of the Wabash River?" And he goes, "Yeah." So there's two locations, possibly more. I don't know, because I know one thing: government lies to you. Why? Because they got something to hide. People that are straight up honest with you, they don't lie. They tell you the truth. They're upfront. They're transparent. That's the way it should be. Now, back in 3/16/21 is when I basically talked to the city hall, which is the mayor, Scott Long, and about the water wise, he thought it was just fine. I told him, "Come over and drink my water, because my water smells like chlorine. I mean, bad. You can walk in the bathroom and you smell chlorine. Now that's chlorine gas, okay? When you put water, when you mix it with water, chlorine, it turns into chlorine gas. Mostly when it comes out of your toilet, out of your sink. That odor that you smell chlorine is chlorine gas, which you're inhaling it. I wonder what that does to your body, let alone when you drink it. I don't know anybody, if anybody's drinking this water, you must be really dumbed down to not know that there's some really bad things going on. If you know anybody it is, please tell them. Please show them this video. Go show them. Because the government is not being truthful to anybody. There's fluorinated cities. And there's cities now that are backing out. Even in Indiana, there's people backing out that are non-corporated. Okay? Non-corporated. Get that? corporation is, yeah, they're the deceivers. They're the ones running everything. They're the ones that got the restaurants. It's terrible. Anyway, I'm going off track. Anyway, don't mind my glasses because I'm blind. Anyway, on 3/16/21, I had called American Water, and I talked to a girl named Crystal. And to show you I called her, her number is 800-492-8373. Now, I don't know if that's her direct line, but that's the number I called, and she's the one I got to. She told me in 24 to 48 hours that a guy named Kirk is going to call me back. Okay? So, anyway, Kirk called me back. Well, Kirk called me back after talking to him for a few minutes, and he gave me the fluoride count, which, why do we have fluoride in the water when we have fluoride in most of the foods we eat, the vegetables, the fruits, this is not, and here's the difference. Fluoride, calcium fluoride comes from the ground. The synthetic fluoride is sodium fluoride, which is what they're putting in your toothpaste, mouthwash, in the water. It comes from nuclear waste and from facilities waste. The companies that have waste, they just shove it right in there and call it fluoride, sodium fluoride. It's not good. It's in rat poisoning. Okay? You can dilute rat poisoning all you want. You're still getting poisoned. Okay? In other words, you're going to die. You're going to decide to drink it or not because are you going to feather away or are you just going to go? I can't say that word, so. Anyway, fluoride count was 0.7. Chlorine count was 1.2 to 1.0. And this is where it gets kind of stupid. This is where I lost respect for water department, Kirk, the whole crew. I told him I had my water tested at Culligan Water. He mocked them, saying, "Oh, how did you test the water? From a pool strip?" Ding, 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 red flag. Why would he say something like that? You know what I mean? Defense right off the get. So, I already suspected then. And I said no with test tubes that came out of a suitcase that was a kit to test for this stuff. Kurt also told me it was a federal law that they have to put it in the water, which is a lie. Ding, 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 another red flag. It is no law. You can vote on it. Other cities have voted to get rid of their fluorinated water. That's what Wabash should be doing. Everybody's going to Scott, or quite a few people from what I understand, and complain about the water. But when you go drink their water, it doesn't taste anything like my water. The health department, they drink the water. It doesn't taste like the water I get. I wonder why. Huh. Got me thinking. So, after I told Kurt that the test of Culligan was at my house a 1.3, which is the high end what he said, but he said 1.0, which is crazy. Now, when I say that, it's milligrams per liter, okay? And that's when he mocked me. Because, they don't like when you know things. The combination, what they're putting in the water, dumbs you down. It calcifies your pineal gland. And you just kind of go along with what they tell you. You ever notice that? How people just go along? Oh, really? Is that how it is? No, they don't do no research or anything. Please do research. If you care about your health, if if you care about your family, other people, if you have love in your heart and kindness, you're going to tell other people because you don't want them to do this. Anyway, at my house, it's a 1.3. Let's see. Oh, well, you know, when I walk, like I said, when I walk in my bathroom, it's you can smell the chlorine, which is chlorine gas, which is very bad too. You know, it leaves dry skin. Excuse me. You know, it's just not good to have. Well, he got kind of smart aleck with me, and he even told me, well, if I wanted to, I could put up to a 4.0. Well, I hope he ain't giving his address out to nobody, because if he did that to me, I'd be going looking him up. I would like to have a real good conversation with that boy, because that's somebody that acts like he's got power to do something. But nevertheless, now if you really want to know what chlorine, I mean, you know, think about it. Look up Berkeley water, and they talk about fluoride, fluorine, and chlorine and all that in your water. And when you read on, don't just read the beginning and say, oh, read the whole thing, because then they start talking about how bad these items are for your organs, skin health, gaining weight, all kinds of problems. Why? Because you're drinking poison. And when you drink poison, bad things happen. The government seems to be doing that a lot, which I don't understand why. Well, yeah, we do, but I just want to get it out there. One second. Okay, so to reiterate, you're paying money for water that you flush down the toilet with whatever goes. I mean, it could be pills going down, you know, in the water. Anything you flush in the water, anything you put down in the water, anything you throw in that river is going in your drinking water. And somehow they think that chlorine, we have to add, here's their thinking. We have to add the chlorine because it gets bad in the pipes and it gets gooey and blah, 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 right? So it cleans it all up. Well, I was a beach director before, and I seen a beach director before me. They had geese in the water, right? And they closed down that beach because of the E. coli was so bad because of the geese crapping everywhere on the beach and the water. So what they did was they took, one or two cases of I think it was one case, so that'd be 4 gallons. And they took a little small boat and they just kind of spilled it in the water, going back and forth, washing it in. You couldn't really smell it. You just seen it clean all of a sudden. Everything just boom. I mean, whoa. So you're thinking like, okay, the biggest organ on your body is your skin. You're going to absorb that stuff, okay? And then what it does inside your body, you have no control of. Your body functions beautifully just like it's supposed to. And that's where it's attacking you. And that's my point, because the health department came out the next day and they passed with flying colors and they were scratching their heads. And I'm like, that's not good. That's not the way to do it. Get rid of the geese. Don't poison the water, right? Anyway, that's what the government is doing. This is what the fluorinaceous cities are all about. They contain the water, and what they put in it is what they put in it. Now, American Water controls the water here. and I'm almost certain, I haven't got opportunity to find out, but I'm dying to know, is our mayor going to play that game where deniability, he didn't know that? I don't know. I like Scott. I went to school with him actually. But when you harm people, I'm gonna make a point, and I'm gonna stand up. It's wrong. It's black and white. It's wrong or it's right. You know? I'm paying for water that I can't drink, I should not be bathing in. And here's some advice. Take showers in cold water so your pores do not open up. You can stop a lot of absorption. Because, I understand you got to take a shower. You're washing your clothes with it. You're washing your dishes with it. You're eating off those plates. That's bad. And let's talk about fluoride here real quick. You get all the fluoride you need in your foods and your vegetables and all that. This is bad. They don't report fluoride poisoning or any fluoride deaths. That's bad. Very bad. Because it is happening. It's just not getting reported in any way. Maybe I think they're probably saying they died of something else. But I researched it. They said that it happens quite often, but they do not report on it. That's I don't think I can say that on here, but anyway, that's just malarkey. They talk about how, I researched it where they said, oh, the fluoride, and probably chlorine with it, I'm not really sure, but the fluoride was turning kids' teeth black, so they turned it down a notch, and then they think it's safe. These scientists, or whoever's saying this crap, which is pretty much everybody, FDA, CDC, all the government, smart people, supposedly, are all telling you they're backing all this. You can look that up. And anything you don't believe me, get on your internet and research this stuff. If you research a lot of it in DuckDuckGo, I used to say that all the time, but it's not as good as it used to be. But you're not being traced. Google traces everything that you look up. So if you don't want to be traced, they say, look, go on DuckDuckGo, which makes sense to me. And one more thing, I want to let you know, the General Tire whatever it was before, I can't remember, General Tire property, that's 18 years old. Rain, floods, it's all been washed, spread out. It's not good. Now you can look up, I believe it's Frankton, Indiana, where they have the same problem, right? Same issues. And you'll see that it got into their water tablet. People started getting cancer. A lot of kids were getting cancer. And now they're getting a crew in there to clean it up. I want to make sure that it gets cleaned up, because from what I understand is there's like 1,000 cities, and I don't know if that's the United States or Indiana. We got one in Kirtland. It's like right underneath Indianapolis, and they're having an issue same as we got over here, which is being downplayed. That explains why people are having health problems, because they tend to cover stuff up, tell you, oh, it's not as bad as what we thought. But the problem is when you read that on the internet, because I went down and tried to get a FOIA on it, and they said it's all on the internet. You have to subscribe and join and all this crap, right? Where when you read I think it's Franklin. Franklin? If I'm wrong, I'll put it back. I'll let you know. But when you read about Franklin, they tell you the whole story. The information's all there. So again, why didn't they put it all up for people to read rather than you got to go through these hoops and hurdles and stuff to read about something that's important? Now, they plan on putting up housing there, okay? That's what Kirtland's did. It's not Kirtland, it's Kirkton or something like that. But you can put it on, if you put it in like that, you'll find it. And yeah, I just don't trust government, and that's why I started doing researching. The water was huge to me. The General Tire estate is very important to me because 2016 they did a test where they went around and they were outside the property on the other side of the road digging deep holes to see if that toxins have gotten there. That was 2016. We had a lot of rain since then, and rain makes it spread. Rain makes it spread and go places you really don't want, especially downhill. So my big concern is that one, because I'm not getting cooperation, really, just being told, it's on the internet. No, not the information I want. So that's why I'm doing this video, because if you think the water is bad, I sure like to know if that stuff got into the water tablet, which is exactly what happened in Kirkton. And they didn't know it until people were getting sick. And I mean sick. So, if you like this video, please subscribe. I know I've been putting out stuff kind of slow, but research takes time. You have to research and see what comes forth, because a lot of stuff I asked there's too many red flags. There's too many people not willing to help with the information that you want to obtain. So I'm going to end this video, and just remember, the sodium fluoride is not your friend. That is a nuclear waste product, which got a lot of other stuff from other facilities in there. Sodium fluoride is nasty stuff. Calcium fluoride, you can get fluoride from tea. I drink tea all the time. From vegetables and apples, and you got all the fluoride you need. So why would they want to put that nasty fluoride in the water? Well, I know why, but you're going to have to learn why. So subscribe, leave a comment. I know sometimes my comment was off, and I don't know why. I keep turning them things on, but leave do a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay? See you. Yes, I looked that up. It's Franklin groundwater. Yes, it's called Franklin groundwater. I don't know why I can't remember that, but that's what it is. Look that up, and you're going to find out pretty much the mistakes and stuff that they're doing there is in a lot of places, and a lot of people are getting harmed by it. So subscribe, like button. Love you guys. Bye.